Good morning. So, I wanted to make this video and talk about this topic because I was feeling like the itch to answer somebody's question. Like if somebody was watching the previous video that I just made and was like, had the question of, okay, so once you find your core, like what do you do with it? How do you keep it? How do you stay in tune with it? You know what I mean? How do you get used to that being, the words I'm looking for, the new you, or like the new reality, the new way of being. And I'm also hearing the question, like feeling the question of like, how does one continue to strengthen their center or awareness of their center or their core, whatever you want to call it, center, core, same thing, right? How does one strengthen that awareness of it? And those are really great questions. And one in which I actually think I want to say out loud for myself as well, because I'll be so for real, it's hard staying focused. It's hard staying focused on that center when you can feel everything so intensely, especially when you're having off days, right? And you're you're in your feelings, you're in your own feelings, which makes you more susceptible to the outside world's feelings, etc., etc. So my response to that is be an emotional athlete. And let me explain what I mean by that. So in my experience of also being an athlete and playing multiple sports and, just being in physical activity overall, right? There is a level of focus that you have to have in order to maintain the craft, in order to repeat the same skill or the same thing over and over again. Call it locked in. Don't laugh at me. I am Gen Z, I swear, but like, I don't really talk in slang, so just call it locked in, right? That's essentially what it is. You have to lock in to that center. You have to lock into the feeling of that center, that place where that center rests. And you have to do it emotionally and mentally, less physically. However, I will say that getting into physical activity and like practicing being locked in, right? When it comes to oh my god, why am I having, hold on, I just completely left this physical world real quick. My brain completely left the scene. Hold up. It's starting to rain and it's absolutely sunny out. I love spring. I love that spring weather. Okay, getting back into it. As I watch the sun drops. It's so cute. It's so cool. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't want to like blind the camera. But she's cute. Anyway, doing physical activity and practicing that locked in feeling, that'll help the emotional locking in feeling and practice. If you don't want to do physical activity, I mean, physical activity could be as simple as like playing with your fingers. You know what I mean? Like there's that dance. I don't know what it's called, but it's like when people dance with their hands, right? It takes a lot of mental, body, mind focus, right? In order to get the type of like wiggle, fluidity you're looking for, right? So it doesn't have to be extreme, right? It doesn't have to be full body even, but it's just practicing mind-body connection. And then you can practice emotional mind-body connection. Meditation is like my example of what that would look like. Sitting, doing anything, however you like to meditate. It could be moving meditation, it could be, whatever, make it your own, right? But you could be sitting, breathing, and just experience like the thoughts that come in, the energies that you're seeing or feeling around you, right? And then and it'll start out quiet the first couple times, especially as you're just trying to figure out who the hell is you and who is the outside, right? usually start with like a visual, like start with visualizing something that's very significant to you. It's like, for me, spirals are very significant to me. So I would imagine a spiral at the center of my chest. You could also meditate and listen to your heartbeat. That centers you really quick. It's very tangible. It's very you. Nobody can change it, right? So it could be a bunch of different things, a bunch of different symbols, but hold that the symbol in your mind, and then feel what that symbol feels like. Feel what your heartbeat feels like, and not just the beating of it, but how does your face structure melt or change in comparison to like when you're feeling other stuff besides like your symbol, your core. We'll call it your core symbol, right? Like, do your face muscles melt? Do you start to smile? Does your breathing change? You know what I mean? Like, all these different things. Do the thoughts in your head, do you react to them differently? Does it feel different to your, do you think of them differently when you're there? It could be, again, so many different things. But just try to start small and expand your awareness of the entire experience. And I'm not even gonna lie, start talking to yourself out loud, because I'm gonna be so for real. Talking is the easiest way to tell when you have shifted energies. For me, it's like a hands down. I'm gonna try to do it right now. All right. I've been talking like this. I'm pretty close to my core as it is, but let me just go into my core even further with the intention of like, okay, I'm just gonna be me and exist in front of the camera instead of gonna be me and talk in front of the camera, and just gonna see what comes out. Maybe you can sense my voice changing, you can sense my tone changing, right? Like, my emotional intention is to just be here and be in my core, but I'm still putting action to it. And that's really like what you kind of, well, at least what I really wanted to get down in this journey, is act from a space, act from my center. And now it's turned into, I want to feel from my center. I want to feel me and only me, or perceive things from my perspective and only my perspective, right? And I'm working on that. I'm getting there myself. But yeah, play around with it. See what comes up. It's my answer to the question. Somebody's probably gonna want to know at some point. So yeah, anyway, cheers.